Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Prospects eRacing League, America's Tier 2 Round 6 here at Imola. We have the drivers just starting to get underway. It looks like Leclerc is the first out on track, so we shall see what they can get going. Looks like we have a dry session, at least for quali. Will be interesting to see if that sticks for the race. Sorry, that was Why Not Beast out first on track in the Red Bull, hoping to get an early time here on the board, looking to come back with a strong performance after a couple of less than ideal races. Big news here tonight for the race is that both Alfa Romeo drivers are unable to make it, so our championship leader, Pedboy, will have his slender, now looking lead chopped down, unless he can get back on track with the next race. Unfortunately, they're looking in a rough position in the Constructors too, as they're currently in P2, but maybe under threat. If Williams, Ferrari, Aston Martin, who are chomping at the bit to get past them, can have themselves a good race. They stay on board for the first part of our first flying lap. Why Not Beast doing a good job getting through the tricky first chicane, having to carry a lot of speed into the second. Keeps it a little bit safe, but on the track and onwards we go. A 24.8 for the first sector, setting the pace early on. One key to the race here tonight will be track limits. With all the previous events that we've seen here over the past couple of days, track limits have played a major factor, and the drivers who usually have been able to stay within range and keep it clean have been the ones coming out on top. Why Not Be starting us off with a 1:16.4 as the first time on the board. Let's see how the other drivers can respond. Here we have Guitar Man Khan, our second place championship contender, currently on 64 points, getting his first flying lap underway. Looks like most drivers here have decided to go out on the soft tire, apart from the Haas boys, who are... Oh, and we have a spin. Guitar Man Khan does not hit the barrier, but does spin it, and will need to recover and set himself another lap time. We'll need to get those tires back up to, or back down to the proper temperature. Here, Tilmo's just gone past, unfortunately having done a lap that was not valid, so we'll have to go again if he's looking to start on the medium tire. Now, it looks like the alternate strategy might be something to try for the Haas boys, although, assuming there's no rain forecast, that may pay off, assuming they can avoid safety car action, which may be difficult on a tricky track such as Imola. And Tilmo spins it as well, coming out of what I like to call the replica of turn 7 in Spain. Out of that tricky right-hander is just an opposite turn to that one. He will have to go again. May have to think about putting on a new set of tires to set himself a lap time. Let's have a look at Guitar Man Khan coming over to start himself another flying lap. Unfortunately, with the spin, was not able to take advantage of the fully fresh soft tires that he was on. So there's plenty of time left to come back in for another set. Obviously the 138 there not being representative of his pace. Now we'll have to see whether he can string it together to put in a competitive lap time or whether mistakes will start to creep in after that first spin. Goes purple in sector 1. I believe 4/10 up on Why Not Beast's first sector current pole time. Here we go into the last couple of turns with Guitar Man Khan, this time setting a more representative lap, keeping it on the track, facing the right way the whole time round. Here we go, we have a new pole time by a massive 1.1 seconds. Guitar Man Khan goes quickest over Why Not Beast. Have a look at T Silva now, who is yet to set a time on the board with his fresh set of soft tires. So far, keep it clean. T Silva, of course, coming into this race in third place in the championship with 48 points, just 16 points behind Guitar Man. He will be looking to add to that and mount a charge, especially with the absence of the Alfa Romeos this evening. Last time out in USA, he was able to finish 5th, but we'll be looking to improve on that tonight with just the 10 drivers. He comes up to the line and he will set initially a 116.7, going third, well clear of division in 4th place behind him. As we check back in with Tilma, unfortunately on another invalidated lap, having set 3 laps on those mediums currently. He rightly peels into the pits and will look to reset, maybe on a fresh set of soft tires to improve on the current 118.3. Let's check in with Swayze. Currently sitting in 5th place on a used set of soft tires with a 118.1. If he was trying to make a one-stop work, one would think that he would have to come in and set a more representative time on some fresh rubber. It's possible, of course, for a one-stopper, and we have Swayze going off the track just a little bit, but we have a one-stopper available to anyone who starts on either set of tires. Preferably for the drivers starting on the softs, they'll be looking to make it onto the hard tire to the end. To a set of mediums. Let's have a look on board for a little bit with Why Not Beast, with a little wobble there out to that first chicane. With a strong opening lap of 116.4, he will be looking to potentially fight back against Guitar Man Khan for that pole position. The game there awarding him a purple first sector, although similarly to other tracks and Codemasters loving to hand out purple sectors to any and everyone, it seems that with Imola everyone loves to have a purple sector 1. Little slide there from Beast as he comes out of that tricky right-hander, but keeping it on the road. He's currently 1.5 tenths up on his previous time, perfectly cutting the chicane there. Here he comes down the hill to the final 2 left-handers leading up to the end of the lap. Very neatly keeping it in bounds there for Val lap time here. He improves to a 116.1, stays P2, but extends the gap over to T Silver currently. Here we have Leclerc starting another fast lap, looking to improve on the 1:19.5. And he's off. And he's into the wall, and Leclerc has retired from the session with his 8th place time. Unfortunately, he was victim to pushing too hard, and it looks like we have someone joining him too. Who is that? Is that Guitar Man Khan? Guitar Man Khan pulling the exact same mistake off, trying to join him in the barriers, but does manage to keep it going without a retirement. I was just about to say Leclerc had some good momentum coming off of the victory that he had last week in the United States, fighting off a very racy Guitar Man Khan to get it. But it looks like he's going to have to fight his way through the field this time around if he wants to stand a chance at another podium. Let's have a look here at Tilmo. As predicted, on a fresh set of soft tires, looking to improve on his time from his old set of mediums. Currently only Artistic as the only driver here looking to potentially make use of the alternate strategy by starting on the mediums. That may be a smart move, as experience has shown that time on the medium tire has proven to be more effective on the softs in race condition. Here we have Tilmo coming up to the line. Let's see if he can improve. It looks like Swayze has also crashed. Tilmo up to P4 with 1:17.7. And there is Swayze, unfortunately, having lost it on the fast left-hand in Sector 2. And there goes Estrada into the wall. He is not out of the race. He's kept all wheels on the car, but has lost that lap time and potentially taken some damage to the side of his front wing from that. This has been quite a nervy session for some of the drivers. Maybe a sign to come for the race in which people who make the least mistakes are going to come out on top again. Imola has proven to be a very tricky track for all of the tiers that have raced before, and it looks to be proving the same here in America's Tier 2. Estrada will be starting a new lap. Looks like maybe he got lucky with no wing damage from that contact with the wall earlier. Let's have a look at Division going through that same tricky right hand. They're currently 1.5 tenths up on his time. If he can keep that pace up, he'll be looking to improve, as Tilmo has just improved his time by another further few tenths, looking to put some more distance between him and Division. I believe it was an 8/10 improvement from his last lap. Let's see, after running wide in the last turn, what can Division put up? A 1:17.6, which is an improvement, but only by a tenth, not enough to move him up from his current 5th place position. Let's check in with Estrada, who is currently on a fast lap, looking like he managed to keep it within bounds throughout the entirety and facing the right way. Let's see if he can improve here from his 7th place. There is opportunity, of course, with a couple of the other drivers around him having crashed out of qualifying. Unfortunately, with a rough exit through those last couple corners, he'll be diving right back into the pits and out potentially for another set of fresh tires. Looks like we have Leclerc coming in on chat here, suggesting that he had pace to do a 1:14.6 in quali, so he is very confident of being able to make up the difference in the race, or at least that he'll certainly have the pace to, as he's mentioned earlier. We are aware that Imola is a track which is quite difficult to overtake, especially in adverse weather. But realistically, unless the driver in front is making a mistake, there is only the one true opportunity to pass, leading up to the first proper turn at the end of the DRS zone. Here we have Guitar Man Khan on another lap, looking to further solidify his current pole position. Still currently holds an 8/10 advantage over second place Beast, which is quite the gap to overcome at this point. Looks like Division has been satisfied with the time that he's put up and has retired from the session, looking to save the tyres he has for the race. Here we have T Silva on a lap, and his teammate almost gets in his way, ruining it. Let's see whether he backs out or tries to put in a time. Oh, and he slides off the road there a little bit. With a 2/10 deficit on his previous best time, it would be in his best interest to back out, get some clean air, and go again. Estrada and T Silva coming very, very close to contact there in quali. Thank goodness for their reactions to be able to avoid it, because the last thing they would have wanted would have been to collide as teammates. T Silva here take a second to recompose, to let the car behind by and then go again for another lap. Let's have a look at the Mad Metis here. Earlier setting some banker lap times on some soft tyres to give him the opportunity to come out at the very end of the session on some mediums to work the alternate strategy. Let's see what he can do. He does have just the one opportunity to set a lap with these mediums. If he doesn't get it, then he will have to start on the soft tyres that he set his 124 on. Guitar Man Khan retiring from the session, knowing that he is set, so he believes, for pole position. Currently only a few drivers are on track that would be able to challenge for that anyways. Why Not Beast and Tilmo have not set a final lap and are done with the times that they have. Mad Max is here with a 25 flat in the first sector. Hoping to see where those medium tyres can put him for the start of the race. And unfortunately invalidates there and will not be able to start on those medium tyres. He will be forced to start on the softs, as those are the tyres he set the time in. Estrada coming home stays 6th fastest. We have T Silva also not improving his time, and there we have the grid set with Guitar Man Khan and Why Not Beast covering your first two positions on the front row, with T Silva and Tilmo making up row 2. We have Division, Paul Williams, and Estrada in the Ferrari on row 3, 5th, and 6th, with Schwayze followed by Leclerc on row 4. Finally, we have Artistic and the Mad Metis bringing up the rear for 9th and 10th place on the grid. We are set now for the Grand Prix. Alrighty, we are coming to the end of the warm-up lap. Let's see what the drivers have for us on this first lap. It can be a tricky one given that the main straight leading into the first proper turn isn't actually fully straight. Had a couple chaotic race starts recently from that, but let's see what the lads can do here today. Alrighty, we have everyone rolling up to the start-finish line together here. No one has tried to pull a Lewis Hamilton and keep everyone waiting while he warms up the tyres all to himself. And here we go, we have everyone lined up, ready for the start of round 6 here in Imola. We have the lights, and we are away for the Emilia-Romagna GP here at Imola, and it looks like a clean start with an interesting angle there for all the drivers. Division there with an unfortunate start, dropping 2 places with Estrada and Leclerc. And we have Tilmo straight off the road, having to come back through the gravel and will rejoin, unfortunately, dead last with his teammate just in front. Unfortunate start for Tilmo, and will have to make up all the ground he has already lost. But he has 32 laps ahead of him to be able to do that. Swayze looking to have made a move on the Mad Metis. Looks like he's in 7th place there. But apart from Tilmo, there's been no incidents at the start of this race. Everyone has calmly let themselves in. Here we have Leclerc chasing after the Ferraris, having already made up 3 positions off the start. He's confident in his pace and is looking to make quick moves back to the front of the field. We have a yellow flag further back. It looks like the Mad Metis has unfortunately dropped down to last place just behind. Leclerc almost off the road there, looking to pull it down the inside of Estrada into the final 2 corners. Can he make it stick? Estrada is spun, trying to perform the switchback. Unfortunately, 2 cars into, and he comes back on the track just in front of the Haas, and collision. Big damage for Tilmo and Estrada. Estrada continues on, but Tilmo will unfortunately have to go to the pits. We have a virtual safety car for the incident. And unfortunately, Tilmo's race goes from bad to worse off the start due to a coming together with Estrada, who was coming back onto the track following his incident. New wing and some medium tyres on for Tilmo as he makes his way slowly but surely back out. Mad Metis there with a drive-through for speeding under the VSC. Let's move back further up. Let's keep an eye on Leclerc, who is still chasing after T. Silva, having made a lightning start with fantastic drive off the turn compared to Silva. Unfortunately, a tough overtaking opportunity, not really existent there, and we'll have to keep it calm and maybe look to pull another move similar to what he did to Estrada, but T. Silva cuts him off, not allowing him the inside, learning from the issues that his teammate had the last lap. Mad Metis with a 3-second penalty, and unfortunately it looks like we have more issues for Estrada and the Mad Metis. Estrada there having a very rough couple of laps, and the Mad Metis has been disqualified from the session for driving around the track backwards in an attempt to right himself from the spin, and Estrada has left the session without retiring the car. That will be something the stewards maybe need to look into there. Moving further up the field, we have T. Silva now in 4th place behind Leclerc, with Leclerc chasing after P2 Why Not Beast. As it turns out, his talk of having good pace has so far paid off as he has made his way through back from back in 8th place and takes 2nd place there with a mistake from Why Not Beast. Coming out of that tricky right-hander, giving up the place to both Leclerc and Silva. Now dropping behind Division and has to settle back into the rhythm in 5th place, having been in 2nd for the first couple of laps. Let's see if Why Not Beast can respond here with some DRS assistance on Division. He pulls out and clears him before the braking zone. Moving back up into 4th, looking to make a charge back towards the podium positions. While all that has been going on, our race leader, Guitar Man Khan, has picked up a 3-second advantage and is looking to drive away from the rest of the field. Unfortunately, he does have a very hungry Leclerc closing in on him. So far, with a couple of tenths having made his way up into 2nd. Will we see another repeat of the USA race last week with Guitar Man and Leclerc dueling it out for the victory? Only time will tell, but it looks like Leclerc so far on this lap has made up about half a second. With only 4 laps on the board at this current rate, it looks like Leclerc and Guitar Man would be battling in the next 3 to 4 laps. That would have been the perfect time for the AWS graphic to come up there. Oh well, if only. Tracy with a 3-second penalty, unfortunately for multiple warnings for track extending. Currently in 6th place. Having a fairly solid race at the moment. Currently in a bit of room on his own. Allowing him the chance to set some consistent lap times and hopefully put together a performance that will see him improve on the sole point he has this season. Unfortunately, the commentator's curse, he has spun off of the tricky chicane at the start of the track. Looking like he unfortunately reset the track, but there he moves on, having made the error, but will have to back off for a little bit while his tires come back into the right operating window. Further up, we have Division, who is still trying to hang on to Why Not Beast. As we have a yellow flag for Sector 1 and 2, it looks like one of the Haas boys had a moment there, but as they're both still moving, we move forward without a safety car or VSC. Now we'll have to see what happens if things play out where we do not see a safety car this race, because there's a chance that some of these drivers, especially maybe the ones a little further back, have underfueled their car for this race. If that's the case, then we should start to see some pace drop off as drivers need to save fuel without the help of any safety cars or even extended virtual safety cars, of which we've only seen the one. Here we have Why Not Beast, who's made his way back up to TD Silva, looking to return back to the podium positions, having made that earlier mistake while trying to defend from Leclerc. Speaking of Leclerc, he has closed the gap up to 1.5 seconds from Guitar Mankind. Within the next lap or two, he will be looking to be within DRS range as he cuts the chicane there in Sector 3 and loses a little bit of time. But we'll have plenty of it to recover and potentially look to make a move into the end of this first stint, which should be somewhere in the range of 9 to 12 laps here on some soft tires. Let's have a look to see if Why Not Beast can make a move on T Silva into the first turn with the aid of DRS. It looks like T Silva is keeping a decent gap and is saving some ERS, so holds on another lap there, having built a gap up to that DRS zone to give himself the chance of staying ahead. Currently still T Silva third, Why Not Beast fourth. Why not? Beast having got a great exit out of that hairpin, looking to see if he can pressure T Silva into a mistake here. The longer that Why Not Beast stays behind Silva, the more likely it is that the mistakes will come. T Silva already taking a defensive line at the start into that chicane, looking to break the toe if it's all possible, to put a gap between him and the Red Bull, charging in from behind. Meanwhile, Leclerc has caught up to Guitar Mankind with a 5/10 gap leading into the DRS zone. Let's see if he can make a move. He's closing at a rate of knots here. Ooh, there's a little bit of contact as Guitar Man tries to block off the move. Will he make it stick around the outside? Yes, he does. Hopefully the contact didn't result in any damage for either driver there, as a early stop for a change of wing will have catastrophic results in terms of their potential race performance. So here we have Leclerc into the lead now with a 2-second gap on Guitar Man, who was recovering from being overtaken into first earlier on. We have Why Not Beast, who has now made his way past T Silva into third, with his sights set on Guitar Man some 10 seconds off the road. Let's see if T Silva can hang on to the coattails of Beast and potentially have the aid of DRS to pull him towards the front pair. Let's see if T Silva can set up a move back on Why Not Beast to return the favor from the overtake of the last lap. Here he comes with a great speed advantage. He goes to the outside. Why Not Beast covers the inside and into the braking zone. He is ahead already. T Silva back up to third place, having unfortunately though dropped another second to the lead pair. The more that Beast and T Silva keep fighting, the less chance they'll have to catch back up to Leclerc and Guitar Mankind. So let's see whether they think about just pushing forward or having this overtake train every lap after lap. Leclerc with a 3-second penalty alongside Why Not Beast, unfortunately brings Guitar Man and T Silva back into play. We have a yellow flag. It looks like that was for Estrada Bad Boy, who we believe is an AI right now. He did leave the session earlier. It looks like Guitar Mankind has stabilized his pace against Leclerc and is slowly pulling back 1 or 2 tenths to get back within range, although currently with the penalty situation as is, Guitar Mankind is first, having applied those. Assuming Guitar Mankind can keep it clean, and Leclerc has spun straight into the wall. He has lost his front wing and will now have to make his way around about a half a lap to be able to replace out for the strucken front wing of Leclerc. There is every chance that Leclerc was pushing a little bit harder to extend the gap to Guitar Mankind, having picked up those 3 seconds. And on the soft tires, which are reaching the end of their life, unfortunately made a mistake out of the hairpin and has put it into the wall. Fortunately for him, he still gets to continue, but will have to change that wing. He may be saved a little bit by the virtual safety car, which might force everyone else to pit. We shall see what race leader Guitar Mankind decides to do with it still active. Does he take advantage? Yes, he does. He's into the pits. Drive-through penalty, unfortunately, for Schwebe for speeding under the safety car as we went green. So it looks like Guitar Mankind and Leclerc have just been caught out by the end of that VSC. Guitar Man onto some hard tires. as you'd expect Hassan trying to make a one-stop work. Meanwhile, Division, having not taken the opportunity to pit, does take the lead with some dead soft tyres, however. Currently with an 8.6 second advantage over Qatar Man Khan on his fresh set of hard tyres. Division, having gone this long on the soft tyres, may be thinking about trying to extend to be able to put on a set of mediums that'll take him through to the end of the race. We do have an interesting split of strategy. It looks like Leclerc has decided to put on some medium tyres, potentially for a pace advantage over Guitar Man, as he has to recover what is now a 7-second gap to what will be the de facto leader once the rest of the pit stops play out. We have ourselves a yellow flag, and it looks like it is T Silva having lost it out of the tricky right-hander in Sector 2. He does get going, but does lose a position to Tilno, and it does ruin his charge up to try and compete again with Why Not Beast. Down to 6th place, but we shall see where he re-emerges once Division rejoins. Looks like Division will come out potentially in 4th place. Here we have Tilno, who's recovered to 5th, having made the very early stop for the change of wing and tyres. While he has been shuffled out of the rotation for strategy with the other drivers, it will be interesting to see where he ends up, as he will have to make another stop, potentially leading a hard charge to the end of the race. But we have T Silva, having just come out of the pits on some fresh tyres, putting a very hard charge on Tilno. We shall see whether he sits behind until the turn 1 DRS zone, or whether he tries to make a move beforehand. Here he comes into the tricky right-hander again, sliding a little bit, but does keep it facing the right way. Let's see if Silva can make up some time on Tilno into this DRS zone. With a 9/10 deficit, it will be difficult for him to make the move into turn 1. He will have to be a little bit closer than that coming into the next lap. Although without any DRS assistance from Tilno, the gap has closed tremendously to the point where Berthier immediately becomes an issue into this first chicane, and it spreads back out. T Silva will have to try again next lap, unless he can find some good momentum elsewhere on lap 13. Leclerc setting the fastest lap of a 1:17.9. Looking to take that point away from Guitar Man Khan potentially, as they have another fight for the upper positions in the race. Let's see this lap. T Silva looking like he has about the same gap that he did to Tilmo in the last lap. Tilmo hanging on very well with some old rubber and with no ERS. Let's see, there is a much closer gap this time around, however, and will he make a move? He goes to outside off the track. He gets a 3-second penalty for it, but does make the move stick. And unlike George Russell and Valtteri Bottas in the real-life race, they keep going. Tilmo looking to fight back, however. 2 into that turn does not go, and he backs out. T Silva up to 5th, but with a penalty to boot for it. As we can see here now, the penalties playing a little bit of a role in the current order. We have a yellow flag. It looks like we have a Haas round. Unfortunately, Artistic has made an error and will pit from that. This potentially gives Swayze the opportunity to come back, but he won't be able to take advantage if he can't string together corners to be able to make up the time. Let's see, however, as he will get some DRS assistance on T Silva, I believe, who is lapped in. And Swayze takes a position over Artistic. As Artistic gets out of the way and lets his teammate by, who's currently in pursuit of T Silva. As I was mentioning earlier, the penalty situation playing a part here in the race, as while Leclerc may be catching up and has cut the gap down to 2 seconds on Guitar Man, the 6 seconds that he'll need to make up will play a large factor in determining who wins or not. Swayze, with a moment off track, does keep it together and facing the right way. We'll have to get out of the way for Tilmo, however, who is on his way to lapping. Let's see what happens. Blue flag should be waving any moment for it. Hopefully he realizes that it is Tilmo behind him and not Artistic in 9th. Let's move back to Leclerc now, who has caught back up with Guitar Man, owing in part due to the pace advantage as well as the tyre advantage he holds. Back up to within 6/10 of the race leader heading into the last couple of corners. He will be looking to set up a move into turn 1 with the aid of DRS, and with the 4/10 gap that he has now, we'll pull that off easily. Let's see if they can make it happen without contact this time, as last time there was an issue. Leclerc going to the outside with no defense from Guitar Man Khan, and is ahead into the chicane. Lap 17, halfway through this race now, and as with the last round in the United States, we have a fight between Leclerc and Guitar Man Khan for the win. The current question is whether or not Leclerc can make it to the end with those medium tyres, and whether or not he can pull a 6-second advantage or force Guitar Man Khan into some time penalties himself. Last week it was Leclerc with the advantage through most of the race, with a valiant fight from Guitar Man Khan. This time around, the shoe's on the other foot a little bit, although Leclerc does pull out of DRS range by the end of this lap and will start to pull away up until those hard tyres can start to get into the right operating temperature and those mediums fall off. Let's check in with Division, who has had a fairly quiet race, but sits currently in P4. With a current 8th place standing in the championship, Division will look to capitalize on some of the other drivers around him not making the race to make his way up the order. Currently 2 positions ahead and 7 points up is the Alfa Romeo driver of Nolnik. With a good finish here, Division may look to overtake him. Here we have Guitar Man Khan, who is unfortunately dropping a little bit further behind Leclerc, now up to a 2.8 second advantage for the Williams driver. It will be interesting to see when this gap levels off or whether it continues to widen. At some point, Leclerc may think about going into a bit more of a conservation mode to be able to try and eke those medium tires out till the end of the race. It will be tricky needing to balance that need to preserve tires and the need to gain time to overcome the time penalties he currently has. It looks like we have a yellow flag in Sector 2. Artistic has unfortunately put it round the difficult right-hander there. He will recover back onto the track and move on. Currently sitting in 9th place, looking to take advantage of some drivers missing the race to get some points here today. Artistic currently sitting in 13th place with 6 points, will add to that and potentially catch up to Felipe Giaza in front of him. We have T Silva in P5, having had some good racing earlier with various drivers, has finally settled into where he is at. Although with the tire advantage over Division ahead of him, we'll be looking to pull in the Williams driver and hopefully improve his position. Currently a 5-second gap, but with 12 laps to run still, has plenty of time to make that up. Looks like Guitar Man has made some time back up on Leclerc. Leclerc potentially having made an error or two in the last lap allows Guitar Man to close up right till about 1.4 seconds behind. And actually looking to be within DRS range coming into the start of lap 21. Does he get advantage? No, the wing is not open this time around, but if he sticks with it, we'll be able to take advantage next lap. Looks like we have a Sector 1 yellow flag. Looks like it was for Swayze, who had just come out of the pits on a fresh set of soft tires. Unfortunately losing it at the first chicane. It's been a tricky spot, has caught a couple of drivers out, especially in qualifying, and unfortunately the race is no stranger to that as well. Swayze still in 8th place though, and on some fresh soft tires may look to push for a fastest lap, which of course he will be eligible for given he is in a point scoring position. Moving back to the front, it looks like Guitar Man Khan this time is close enough to Leclerc, as we have another yellow flag potentially for Swayze again. Nope, this time it was for his teammate Why Not Beast, who is still in 3rd comfortably. Meanwhile, Guitar Man Khan has taken the lead as Leclerc has come into the pits. He's understood that making it to the end on those medium tires is not an option and is putting on a fresh set of mediums to try and potentially chase down Leclerc. Swayze unfortunately retires from the session, leading to a safety car. Let's see if we can catch what happened here. Oh, looks like potentially into the wall on the left-hand side, with the car being carried back out with the momentum into the middle of the track. Very unfortunate for Swayze, as he was on for some decent points this race. But with that, we have the safety car out and pit stops have begun. Everyone has taken advantage to go onto some fresh soft tires until the end. Some choosing to go with the medium tire. Both potentially good options, although it looks like, unfortunately for Leclerc, a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. It looked like there was potential for his race to be saved given the safety car bringing everyone back together, but unfortunately, having just pit for fresh mediums, will have to serve a drive-through once everyone is back racing, thus effectively ending his charge for victory. With Guitar Man Khan in the pits here for a fresh set of mediums. He will come out and easily maintain the lead from the looks of things, as the safety car will then pick him up as the leader. It's a very interesting prospect here for the lads, as the racing was very spread out leading up to that point in the race. Let's see if Guitar Man slows down enough. Yes, he does, and has picked up the safety car. We're in for some fresh softs, but is unable to serve the drive-through until after the safety car period has ended. Unfortunately, Filmo has found himself second place on track, while sixth in the race. It will be difficult for him to have to get out of everyone's way at the start of the race without letting the likes of his teammate through as well. Just when the drivers thought that they were in a comfortable position, out comes the safety car to bring everyone back together. Now we'll see what the lads have in a final 7 or 8 lap dash to the finish. Alright, with everyone apart from Estrada on fresh tires, let's have a look back to the penalty situation. It looks like here Guitar Man Khan has the advantage with a clean slate compared to the rest of the field. All he needs to do is get away from the pack and have a clean last few laps. And it is his race to lose here today at Imola. Quite the reversal of fortunes from the last race, where Leclerc was able to get his first victory of the season. Alrighty, with the entire rest of the grid that is still running caught up to the safety car here, we should expect to see us back underway on lap 25 for a last sprint to the finish. It looks like under safety car conditions, Artistic has unfortunately lost it. whole front wing is gone and will unfortunately have to pit again for a fresh one. But that will only be able to happen once we are back underway, as he is not allowed to overtake under the safety car. Artistic with a 5-second penalty there for corner cutting. Unnecessary, as he still had time to catch back up, but will have to pit for repairs, as will Leclerc to serve his drive-through. We go back underway shortly. The guitar man has not given the safety car any room to leave, so we'll be going only now, and we're back underway. Here we have Division putting some pressure on Leclerc, looking to potentially make a move. Oh, but T. Silva on the outside, spooking Division, has sent him into Leclerc. Why Not Beast is now up to third place as T. Silva and Division fall back down the order, potentially with some damage to both cars. We have a yellow flag as Division is still recovering from the incident. Due to his status of being a lead lap driver, having only drops down to 5th, but will need to do an entire lap with some wing damage and then come in for repairs, as he picks up another 3 seconds for his troubles. Here we have Why Not Beast on Leclerc. Will Leclerc pull in to serve his drive through this lap? Yes, he will. Leaving Why Not Beast. Oh, and there goes Leclerc with a 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pit lane. Things have only gone from bad to worse for the Williams driver today, with his teammate needing to come in for a new wing himself. What was looking like a very promising race for the Williams lads now may end a little less fortunately. After all of that from the restart, we have Guitar Man Khan out in the lead with a 1.7 second advantage over Why Not Beast, with T. Silva in third, having survived the scrap or melee with Division earlier. Looks like no damage for the Ferrari driver, and he continues on in a strong position now to potentially snag a podium. Leclerc, having served his drive-through but now with 11 seconds of penalties, is in 4th ahead of his teammate Division, who is a further half a lap behind. Here we are into lap 27, and Guitar Man Khan takes the fastest lap with a 1:17.1. Thus taking that away from his championship rival Leclerc. Why Not Beast now has the task of chasing Guitar Man down. He has 6 laps left to do it. We shall see what happens. And here, Why Not Beast on this lap alone looks like he has taken about 0.4 of a second out of Guitar Man Khan's lead. Guitar Man just has to hold on for another 5 laps. Can he do it on his medium tyres from a hard-charging Red Bull? And Why Not Beast looking to make up for a disappointing race last week. You'd suspect that a podium would be a great redemption for him, although I'm sure with Guitar Man Khan just 2 seconds up the road, it would be very difficult to stop thinking about the race win today. Meanwhile, Leclerc does set another fastest lap on a fresh set of softs, taking that back away from Guitar Man Khan. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3 for one of the Haas boys, as the other Haas gets out of the way of Team Silva coming through a lap ahead. Here we are back with Guitar Man Khan in the lead on lap 29, with the gap stabilized towards 2.4 seconds, 2.5. It seems that every time Why Not Beast is able to put in a good sector or two to make up time. One mistake and he's right back to where he started. There's every chance that leading up to the end of the race, also the soft tires may be going off for Why Not Beast, whereas Guitar Man's mediums have been able to hang on a little bit longer. One will have to wonder whether or not Why Not Beast has any pace advantage on his tires left at all. Three laps to go here for your race leader of the PRL Americas Tier 2 Round 6 race here in Imola. It has been a fairly dominant performance from Guitar Man Khan through this entire session, from qualifying all the way through the race. He only has a couple laps left to put together to be able to be crowned your winner for today. If Guitar Man Khan were to win the race here today, he would close right up on Ped Boy, the championship leader. The gap between the two currently stands at 28 points, but with the absence of Ped Boy from this race, the gap will be down to potentially 2 points leading into the next round. Why Not Beast again over the lap has been able to catch up to within 2 seconds with another quick lap, take about 4/10 out of the lead. However, if he does not make up a bit more, it will be too little too late, especially with a 3-second time penalty hanging over his head. Why Not Beast clearly giving it his all, having thrown all the ERS at catching up to Guitar Man Khan. Guitar Man having not too much more himself, but a little bit in reserve if he needed to defend. Division unfortunately picking up a 3-second penalty to add to the 6 seconds he had before. Seems to be out driving clear air though, and it looks like it will not make a current difference in his finishing position. Alright, here we are now with Guitar Man Khan coming up to the final lap of the race. Now with a comfortable 3.8 second lead over Why Not Beast, whose charge for the race victory has effectively ended. still, having put in a very good performance on track for P2 here. Why Not Beast will be looking to move up the table regardless. Here we have a yellow flag for Haas, unfortunately. Looks like Artistic. No, it was not. It was Tilmo who was letting people through. May have had a moment off track. Tilmo still looking good for a P6 finish, which will do him nicely. Here we go with our race leader into the final section of the race today. Guitar Man Khan with a fantastic performance from flag to flag, keeping control of the race when he needed to, putting himself in the positions that he needed to win. Here we have your round 6 America's Tier 2 winner, Guitar Man Khan. With Why Not Beast coming home for its 2nd place. Very good performance from him and a good recovery from the last race. T Silva coming in for 3rd with Leclerc finishing 4th. With Leclerc's teammate division here, still with a half a lap to go, looking strong for a 5th place finish. Overall, good performance for Williams in terms of the points. It could have obviously gone a lot better for them, but after everything is said and done, 4th and 5th place finish could have been a lot worse. With Tilma, who has finished in 6th, Estrada, who did not retire from the session, 7th, and Artistic coming home in 8th. Division picking up a last 3-second penalty just for good measure. And here he comes across the line. And there we have it, folks. There is your Grand Prix. Driver of the Day award to Leclerc 1090, though if I had to give a nomination myself, I would give it to our race winner, Guitar Man Khan, for an utterly dominant performance here today. Congrats to the Alpine driver, who closes up to within 2 points of Ped Boy, leading into round 7 of the PLR Americas Tier 2 Championship. Here we have your provisional results for the race, and that will do it for us here today. Thank you everyone for joining me for the broadcast of the PLR Americas Tier 2 Round 6 race in Imola. Here we have your podium: Guitar Man Khan, Why Not Beast, and TD Silva 94. Congrats to the drivers for making it through a tough, tricky race. We will catch you again next week. Take care, everyone.